Hello everyone, I'm Reed and I'm back putting my seatbelt on. Took the jacket off for a little bit. It is 70 degrees out. I do have the air on because of my husband's cheesecake, which I guess other people would have the air on too. So just stopped in Rollins. I stretched my legs, potty break, did a little walk around. I do stop here, as bad as that sounds, and I pick up, because let's adjust you just a little, honey bunny. Okay, so with my Kiwanis governors and all, gosh, I don't want to looking at my belly that much. Look at that thing. Ugh. Okay, anyway, so with my Key Club governors and stuff like that, I have every year I get them a jackalope bank. So I picked up for the new governor Key Club, Miss Jenny. I got her jackalope. I will also get her something that's more personalized for her, because I'm, I see. Okay, so we're gonna set the cruise, and so that, well, no, we can do the car thing, especially with all the, for Jenny, it's something that's more personal. Last year, Sam, the governor for the Key Club that we had, he's kind of like the Mother Goose. He likes his little storytelling. He liked his little, I'm adjusting this thing, because I am not liking that it's liking my belly. Okay. Woo! You did not see that. Anyway, so, for him, I guess let's get on the road. For him, Mother Goose, it was the thing. So I actually bought him the storytelling talking Mother Goose. And another thing that Sam was always big about was his socks. He always had fun socks. Just entertaining socks. Like every time I saw him, I'm like, Sam, show me your socks. So I got him some socks for his graduation and stuff, because he's going to college. He's at high school. He's going to college. With each of the kids, it's something that was personal to them. The first governor I did that for was about 7 years ago, and his name is Zach. And he originally also was from Georgia, from the Savannah area, and he was in Colorado, and oh, he meant the world to me. Great kid. Here's also, seagulls are like Wyoming's national bird of all things. I swear they're everywhere. They're like little garbage things. But anyway, so Zach, something that meant something to Zach and me is Waffle House. And so one of the jokes about that is, we always talk about Waffle House. Now, for the ones of you guys that live in the South or live in certain areas, you know Waffle House. Waffle House is the McDonald's of the South. It is on every corner. So I asked him, and I was able to buy a Waffle House mug. Okay, that was 7 years ago. I'm pretty sure it was like 7 years ago. 6 or 7 years ago. Anyway, he still has that mug, and he has told me that. He's one of my adopted children, in a sense. Most of the kids on the board that, you know, spent time with me nickname his mom. I mean, the kids now, they're younger than my kids. But Zach, it was about 2 years ago, I was at a district convention, and he was there to speak or to help, I think help with the new governor, you know, being there, being supportive and everything. So and I literally had just finished talking to a Kiwanian and saying, my daughters are grown up, I only have girls, I don't have any boys. So here comes Zach, Mom, and is charging down the hotel and is hugging me. So, these kids are so important to me. So that was a little spill. But every year I try to, I like them getting their little jackalope banks, because it's a bank. It's a little flocked, and it's a bank. So that's always the thing, because their mascot is a jackalope. So I like that. My phone's possessed. And then something that makes me think of them. Sam and I went a little nuts because I was like, Mother Goose, and I couldn't resist. I had to get him the talking Mother Goose, which is like, I don't even know how old that thing is. Mother Goose is, but telling story, nursery rhymes and stuff. But it's our thing. So each of them shopping there because sometimes they have the coolest books there to buy to read. I stopped there once, and I had to send a picture to my friend Brandy because they walked out with like 3 books. Authors I'd never read before, but the book seemed so interesting. So, I had to. There was 2 books, one I've read, and then there's another one from an author I read, but I don't think I've read that series. So, if it's there when I have to come through the next time, I will probably buy that book. But I was being good, I didn't buy it. Because I've got to catch up with what I have to read, and I've been a complete slacker. So, that's a work in progress. Because I think I have 2 books that I want to order that came out, and I haven't ordered yet. And they're from series I love. One book I'm putting off because I still haven't read the book before it. So I need to sit down and read it. And it's a book I've been trying to sit down and read since February. But with my schedule and everything going on, it's been a little nuts. So, them's the facts. I still have my cup of coffee that's like half full. It's only, what, 12 ounces? 16 ounces? I don't know. What is this? It's a small. Whatever that is. Not an 8 ounce. It's bigger than that, but... And then I have my water. And I have 2 things of juice, but I'm working on this juice. Ocean Spray. Let's set my... Oops, wrong way. Let's set this. Let's set the cruise. Because we don't have traffic. We don't have construction right now. So when there's not construction or traffic, I do like to set the cruise. Okay, and yes, I am in Wyoming, and traffic here is totally different from what you consider traffic elsewhere. But semis, this is, their route to everywhere. So, horse trailers for rodeos, all that kind of stuff. But semis, you watch my videos, you'll see tons of semis going by. So yes, I'm snacking while I'm talking. That sounds horrible. This has helped this trip. This may be something, if you guys like it, or if you guys like, are you a nut? Stop doing this. This may be something I do when I do on some of my road trips. I mean, think about it. I'm talking to nobody and I'm talking to everybody all at the same time. I am not doing a live chat with this, because that could go bad. Maybe later on. I need to research it more. But we can record this, then we upload it, and we go from there. There's a train. I do love summer because our sagebrush is green. And that's so cool because most time sagebrush is not, even though it's called sage, it is not green. Or tumbleweeds. Tumbleweeds are fascinating to me. Some of these things get huge. They get as tall as me. And you're like walking and you think tumbleweeds, and you think those little circles that go through the Western movies and stuff, and it's the little thing. No, those things grow. They're fascinating. How come my mouth full? They get tall and big. They're like, I don't know. I mean, like, what were we talking about? Avalanche? I mean, I've not seen like a bunch. I've seen like 2 or 3, I'm not seeing like huge things of tumbleweed, but it is fascinating. A cow all by itself. Poor guy. Oh no, there's another one. Okay. I don't know how safe it is if they're out there by themselves. But I think some of them are calving. They're pigmentations, and when something comes out new and you really want to support them, you're gonna buy that palette. It's just something you do. It's something I do. There's certain palettes I'm like, oh my gosh, even though I know chances are if I go through my collection, 99.99, I have that color. Eyeshadow was not really, so I was more in the early 2000s. It was all about the eyeliners. That was my strong thing, was color and the lines, and with your hands being able to do that, the lines and all that. Eyeshadow was not one of my big fortes. I don't know what else to say. It really wasn't. Eyeshadows, I had eyeshadows obviously because I have palettes from 2004 and stuff like that. And there's a reason why I have them from 2004, because I really didn't use a lot of eyeshadows. Now eyeshadows, just because of the range and everything now, is making a huge comeback, a huge change, and people did it before, but the pigmentation nowadays, without it staining, because believe me, there was some shadows out there you can want, they were not coming off. And with eyeshadows, I didn't do it much for me, but I do know other artists. I had others that's like, your eyes are like a canvas. So they liked mine because I didn't have the hooded eyes. I didn't, and I close my eyes while I'm driving. Close the eye and do it. It was something that they could really play with. So I was the test bunny, I guess, test subject for a lot of that, when they were practicing their artwork, practicing all the different stuff, their techniques. And so I guess I just didn't want to do it myself because, oh my gosh, some of the stuff they did, but also it just got old. I'll be honest, it got old. It just wasn't my thing. So then now we're in, okay, so let's come up to 2017. Getting back into the makeup world and skincare world. Shadows standing on their own, not blending, not blurring, not creating a look with color and vibrancy, or with naturals, with nudes, different types of smoky eyes. Smoky eye took on a whole new, different from when originally it was a smoky eye or cat eye and all that. All the different techniques that have changed just in the last few years is huge, and matters. So I had probably maybe 10 palettes in 2017. Then I went back into the makeup industry, doing people's makeup, doing techniques, trying different textures, different types, different formulas. And now we're in 2019 and I have over 200 palettes. I finished a cream palette this last week. No, Sunday, so last week. And so I'm excited. To complete a whole palette is huge for me. I know, like, some people when they're doing a palette, they like try to do all the colors and all the looks from one palette. I am really bad about that. I'm like, oh, I like this color, but if I pull this palette over and put it in, I can pull this color and I can do this palette, and I love it because I don't, 9 times out of 10, I am not doing an eye look with one palette. I have 3 or 4, some singles, and I'm doing this, and then I got some, liquids, I got some cream, I got some this, I got some, there's so much out there. To me, I am not a one palette girl. I guess paying that palette with the 7 palettes that I'm working on says that. If I had, if I just worked on one, chances are I would be done with it. I have wholesome sort of, I have one where I've got no eyeshadow in it, because I had pressed powder too. All it has left is blush. And let me tell you about this blush. I worked on it for 6 weeks. You can't tell. The pigments are just a little bit, goes a long way. And a lot of my certain ones like that. So like my Lancome blushes, that is a thing. The older ones. I'm not sure about the newer ones because I will be quite honest, I don't have to use the newer ones because I have and they're not going anywhere. The other high pigment, if you want a high pigment blush and something to play with, Sleek. Their eyeshadows, I love the pigments, I love their combinations. That I now those I can probably do a look with the palette. But their trios, I have pumpkin. I have it. Literally, I put a little bit on the brush, and I put it on, and then I have to blend, because it is like, hello, poppin' poppy. And I don't have to put any more on my brush for like 2 days. So then the next day, just using my brush, not even putting it in the blush thing, pop, and there's color. I mean, that's how, this is an OMG. This is my OMG, like, blush-wise, Sleek, their trios. And like I said, this is it. I have a couple of them, but pumpkin, I was dared to use the pumpkin palette. So guess what? I used the pumpkin. I bought the pumpkin palette, and and it is actually in one of my project pans, my seasons, my 4 seasons. Oh no, we don't want to go 99. No. You did not hear that? I don't know why that did that. But anyway, it is, I mean, a little bit goes days for me, and still I feel like I got too much color on my cheekies. I'm highlighted really well too. But that's for my drop 10 is my highlighter. That is not lost much either. There's some highlighter and blushes I can go through and like, ooh, I hit pan, and right now what I'm trying to do is hit pan on as much as I can. Hit it, not use it all up, because I need to show that I'm doing this, and honestly, so I don't get sick of them. Because if you start brand new, I did some videos, multiple videos on blush, bronzer, and highlighter, and there's a lot. I have a lot. Let's just simplify this. If it's a category, 9 times out of 10, I have an excessive amount of it. The only thing I probably don't have an excessive amount of right now is my facial wipes, my makeup wipes. I think I have 2 or 3 of those. That's it. And right now, I can go to my Walgreens and buy 2, get the 3rd one free, because skincare is on sale. And so I know I'm going to stock up on my facial wipes. I already stocked up on my Holy Grail Line Booster Serum. I bought 3 of them because, hello, it's buy 2, get 1 free. So let's say $40. So that's a given. But everything else, I mean, even foundation, it's sad. Even foundation, I have 62 foundations I'm trying to use up. So my ones with SPF get bumped to the front. I'm trying, because I've been trying them all. There's certain ones, they don't like my skin, I don't like them. Or there's certain ones it's like, it moves, it slicks. Then I mix them with other foundations, so it takes a little bit longer, because then I'm using 2 foundations instead of 1 foundation. BB cream is my friend for certain ones. So I'm trying to use it up. I don't want to waste it, because 90% of the stuff that I have, I bought that product. So I don't want to throw my money away. I wasn't raised that way. I was, you don't waste money. It sounds like people probably think I waste money because I buy this stuff. But I buy it, I test it, and when people have questions, from my personal experience, I can lay something out like that. So if someone's asking me about a palette or asking me about a foundation, I can tell them. Like I said, there's certain foundations, oh my gosh, the oxidation of certain ones. I love the CoverGirl one, cruelty-free. They're doing vegan now, which I think is fantastic, that they have their new True Blend. Is it True Blend? They have a new line, their new concealers, and I think it's the foundation, but I know the concealers are going vegan. Vegan-free? No, they're just vegan. And I think some of their other stuff. So the stuff that's called like True Blend, I think is going vegan. And it's not just, I think it's the Easy Breezy Brow, things like that. They've got some stuff going on, CoverGirl does. Here's the thing. CoverGirl's foundation does not like me. Or my skin does not like CoverGirl foundation. Maybe that's the thing. Vitalist. When when that came out, everybody's like, oh my gosh, da, 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 da. That oxidizes and I turn like into a pumpkin. Ugh. It's a summer squash, maybe more of a summer squash. It oxidizes a summer squash. Let's go with summer squash. And my skin, it's not the right color. And I am a pasty person. I'm driving, I'm out in the sun, I have sunscreen on. But I'm pale or I'm burnt. And very little tanning. And my tanning is very, very soft. I think being in retail so long. Also, I was on medication when I was a teenager, and it affected the pigment in my skin. So, I can't. You're so funny. It's the car. I do talk to the car. It affects me being out in the sun. I do not have a long tolerance for direct sunlight. I don't know what else to say. So sun care is my friend. I do have a huge selection. I bought a bunch of sun care, and I do want to test it out. There's some fun ones out there now. Like I said, you saw my video, and so I'm not going to recommend like certain ones. There's certain ones I like, so I guess I might recommend those. But sun care it is making a huge change. And guys, here's my little. It's my rant. I have a rant about sun care. My thing is you should wear sun care all year round. Not just on your face and stuff, but on your hands. When you're driving, most windshields, they're not UVA, UVB protected. To a point they are, but you're getting sunlight on your hands, right here, in this door right here, this window. There's sun. Even if you're driving only a couple miles to go to work, to go to the store, whatever, you're getting UVA and UVB. So, sun care, sunscreen. At least put it on your hands, put it on your face, put it on, in the ear. I recommend it. Because, what is it? 5 minutes of sun adds up after a bit. Even if you're out in the sun only 5 minutes every day, walking to your mailbox, spinning your newspaper, taking the trash out, whatever. Or bringing your trash in. It is what it is, and sun care is my year-round tote. I discuss this all year round, and I use sun care all year round. And believe me, I try different sun cares all year round because I haven't found my absolute holy grail. I think I'm close. I pretty much, there's one, I think, but I can't justify. I don't know. I haven't made a final decision about it. Let's just say that. I'm not at that point yet. And yes, you can have a Holy Grail sunscreen. I know there's Holy Grail foundations, Holy Grail, and I do. I'm trying to use up my foundation, so I'm down to the 2 or 3 foundations I like. Do I have a Holy Grail? No. But I do have ones that I prefer and that I want to be my go-tos. Even powders, loose powders. This is my downfall. I think I'm going to save this for the next. We're going to talk loose powders on the next one. This was a rant, and I apologize. I do. So I will talk to you soon.